Hey guys, I'm Dr. Dodd, Team Chiropractic and Sports Medicine. Today we're going to talk about women's health, and it's a very special topic for me because there's been a lot of women that have influenced me into being who I am today. And the first was my mom. She was a super mom. She supported us. She was a working mom, and she supported us all through growing up, and we never lacked anything. And so I really have a special place in my heart, especially for single women that are having to do it all themselves. And so Mom supported me through all my schooling and all my career, so she is one of the reasons I am today. Here I am today. And then also my wife, Jenny, she has put up with me for 27 years and made me into a better husband and a better father and a better chiropractor, so I wanted to thank her as well. Over the course of the last almost 30 years, we have literally helped dozens and dozens of women get pregnant. We've helped them get better with osteoporosis, endometriosis, all these issues that the women are complaining about, irregular periods. We have been able to help them because we're not just limited to what the insurance company says we can do. We're actually taking care of them based on their structure. So for example, on all those ladies that had infertility issues, they all had one thing in common, L3 subluxation. And all we did was correct that L3 subluxation, allowed those nerves to start regenerating those ovaries so they could work the way God designed them to work, and then they end up getting pregnant. And it's such a wonderful blessing to be able to help so many people, and we're just restoring neurology. And that's what makes this practice so special, is we're not limited to what the insurance company says. In fact, the insurance company is actually part of the problem, because remember, they're only paying to treat the symptom, and most doctors are good doctors, but they only know how to treat the symptom. That's all we were taught in school. But because of my engineering background, the Lord convicted me that I need to get out of the insurance networks and I need to start fixing people's structure, which would make people healthy again. Because remember, it shouldn't be a secret, but it is. Optimally functioning spine and nervous system allows you to have optimal health. And if your spine is out of alignment or crooked or you're subluxated, you can't have optimal health. So that's the first thing we always do, okay? And where are we today in America? Well, think about this. Breast cancer, 1 in 8. Thyroid conditions, 1 in 10. C-sections, 1 in 3. Infertility, 1 in 10. Osteoporosis, 1 in 5 over 50 years old. So if you look at these stats, they're getting worse every year because we keep going down this wrong slope of just treating the symptoms, unfortunately. And so anytime we have a problem, we always go back to that all sickness and disease can only come from deficiencies and toxicities. And the number one deficiency is decreased nerve flow coming from subluxations, those pinched nerves that you don't even feel. And the reason you don't feel them is because you didn't compress 90% of the nerve or you adapted with poor posture. And the second thing is toxicities, okay? And we're going to spend most of this class today talking about the toxins that are interfering with women today, okay? And so 6 essentials, we take all our patients through those, and that's we started that about 15 years ago, and that's working really well. But some of those early people, we didn't have the 6 essentials. All we did was adjust them, and they still showed wonderful signs of getting rid of some of these problems that they were having, okay? So females in the United States today are getting worse. We have all these hormones that are in our meat. We have all these drugs that are put into the animals and the cattle with antibiotics. And then we have the cosmetic problems, you know, we put on our skin, the makeup and things. A lot of those are full of toxins. Then we have the plastic cookware. We're storing food in plastic or warming up food in plastic. Those are toxics as well. The birth control pill is toxic, as well as hormone replacement pills. Those are toxic, okay? And so all those are leading to problems with our ladies, okay? And so the beauty products that we put on, the hygiene, the feminine products that we use, and also household products. Those are where most of your toxins are coming from, okay? And then what's in those feminine products? They're bleached with chlorine, okay? And then they use recycled cotton, which has 25% of the world's pesticides sprayed in those. And then they put color dye in there, all these things in there. So what we're recommending is that you choose a better option. The other thing is toxins in beauty products. Do you know if you put something on your skin, it only takes 26 seconds for it to be into your bloodstream? And you know there's over 80,000 unregulated ingredients in products that you put on your face every day. And then 13,000 of these ingredients are banned in Europe, but they're still legal in the United States. Top 4 toxins in beauty products are fragrance, that's your perfumes and things like that. And then there's phthalates, that's the plastics that we store stuff in. And then there's also parabens, which is the products that mimics estrogen in our bodies, which can then lead to breast cancer and other breast tissue issues. And then there's oxybenzone, which is found in our sunscreen products, and those unfortunately are quickly absorbed into our body. And we want to make sure we avoid all these products. So get in the idea of always reading the ingredients of anything you put in your body. And it's difficult to do that all the time. So we come up with an app called Think Dirty. Download this app on your phone. It'll list the products that are clean and the list of products that are dirty that you ladies can use to make sure you're not getting any of these toxins into your body. Okay, it's a great app for you to use. Now remember, xenoestrogens is the most blacklisted ingredient, okay? And these are chemicals that mimic natural hormones that block and bind your receptors. And it's detrimental to your immune system, it's stored in your fat cells, and it makes you what we call estrogen dominant, and then it directly links to breast cancer and prostate cancer. So it makes us, when we have all these xenoestrogens in our body, it makes us estrogen dominant. And when you get estrogen dominant, it blocks your progesterone and makes you imbalanced. And then over time, we eat these refined diets, but that adds to the problem. We don't do enough exercise, we didn't get rid of the toxins, and then we have all these xenoestrogens building up in our body, and then we use hormone replacement therapy, which also magnifies the problem. So we want to make sure that we don't become estrogen dominant, which unfortunately is the way we're heading today in today's society. Other effects of estrogen dominance is you store more body fat. You'll have more fluid. You always feel kind of bloated. Higher probability of endometrial cancer. You'll have a higher probability of osteoporosis. You'll have a higher probability of autoimmune issues. Some of those most common autoimmune issues are lupus and multiple sclerosis, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, and even arthritis. Also, it will alter your body's zinc copper uptake, which can make you have more mood swings. It can increase your risk of stroke by 50% and also cause excess estrogen to increase stimulations of breast tissue, which can lead to uterine fibroids down the road. We want to make sure we avoid that as well. And then menopause is another one, because most people, when they get to menopause, they think they have to have hormone replacement therapy. And that will help one thing, but it'll cause 10 other things, okay? So remember, menopause is not a disease, it's a natural biological process in which a normal woman's life takes to gradually snip away from the physical power of childbearing, okay? So your body's just slowly kind of stopping that part of your life, okay? And when your hormones go awry, you know, you have all these hot flashes, you have all these other symptoms that come about, but a lot of times it's just because it's an increased amount of estrogen in your body, okay? And when it happens all too quickly, you get these problems. But if it can happen slowly over time and just gradually happen, then you can go into what we call a happy menopause stage. That's our goal, is to get you to that place. And then we have osteoporosis. And osteoporosis, as everyone knows, your bones start thinning, and then you start having more falls and then breaks and things like that. So we want to make sure that we're keeping our bones nice and thick, all right? And we're going to do that not by eating more calcium. You know, in the United States, we actually consume more calcium, more dairy products, which has most calcium of any food we eat. We consume more dairy products. In all your countries that consume a lot of dairy products, we still have the highest rate of osteoporosis. So it's not a lack of calcium in our diet, it's a lack of the calcium absorption into our bones, so we don't have to take it away. But when we have estrogen dominance, your body literally takes the calcium out of the bones into the bloodstream, so it causes osteoporosis. We want to make sure we don't do that, okay? Now, food, and we avoid all foods with pesticides, herbicides, so make sure when you're buying food, you want to get organic, okay? There's a list called the Clean 15 and the Dirty 15, so make sure you look for that. It's in our new Total Food Makeover class. You You can also find it online, but you want to buy the foods that are the organic, or they're in the clean category where you don't need to buy organic. And if they're in the dirty category, you have to buy the organic food. And there's plastics. We don't want to store any food in plastic, okay? You really don't even want to drink water out of a water bottle that you buy in the grocery store, because the plastic water bottle has the phthalates that will get into our bloodstream as well and cause estrogen dominance. So anytime we have plastic, you want to have PBA plastic, which means it's strong enough not to absorb into your body, okay? Now, household products is also a problem, because you want to make sure you're using household products that are biodegradable and that are clean for our body. Because if you use household products for cleaning and they have toxins in them, your body's going to absorb that either through breathing it or getting it on your skin. And then, of course, we already talked about the beauty products, and that's where you're going to use that Think Dirty app, okay? So we want to avoid xenoestrogens at all costs, because they're filling us with toxins. And you know, your body can only handle so many toxins, okay? So once you get what we call toxic overload, that's when you start having problems and symptoms. We want to keep those toxins at bay. What we do in our office is every 6 months, we do a detox. We just did one back in January. We're going to do another one in June. So make sure that you guys join us and do a detox with us every 6 months to get these toxins out of our bodies, okay? And then we have natural non-toxic solutions. We want to make sure you have a clean diet with phytoestrogens. So phytoestrogens are naturally occurring in the plants. So you eat what we call 75% of the vine. That's what we recommend. You're going to have a diet that's clean, that's full of these phytoestrogens, which is good for you, okay? And we want to make sure that we're eating foods that God made, because they have less chemicals, less of the problems. So the more processed food we eat, the more likely we're going to be consuming toxins that's going to make everything worse in our bodies, not just all the female stuff, but other stuff. And then we want to use, if we have to use progesterone, we want to use natural progesterone cream. Then we can do massages from lymphatic natural massages, can drain out some of those toxins. You can also, one of the best things you can do is make sure you're under regular chiropractic care. That helps get out toxins as well and helps restore neurology. And then another way, you can actually sit in a sauna to sweat out some of those toxins as well. Let's talk about the birth control pill. We've been using it since 1960. It's estimated that 10.6 million women are on it right now, and it's been prescribed a lot of times because they have teenage acne, or they have heavy menses cycles, or they have PMS syndrome, or they have irregular periods. They're using it for a lot of different things because they just want to put more people on it. But remember, the more unnatural we do something, the more problems we're going to have. Well, unfortunately, there's side effects to that pill, just like all pills have side effects. But the biggest thing it does, it messes up your microbiome. And remember, if you don't have a healthy microbiome, you're not going to be absorbing and digesting your food all the way, so you're going to have problems down the road. And then it also increases your risk of cancer, particularly cervical and breast cancer, decreases your thyroid function, and depletes your vitamins B, selenium, zinc. It also increases risk of stroke, blood clots, pulmonary embolism. All these problems are increased, and the big thing it does is it increases inflammation in your body. Remember, when inflammation in your body increases, guess what? Heart disease and cancer increase as well. And then, of course, we know about infertility. You know, 1 in 10 women are suffering from infertility, and all they do is infertility drugs and things like that, and we're okay with that. But we want to make sure we do everything possible first to make sure that your neurology is working right, that you don't have any toxins in your body. And we do all of that and you still can't get pregnant, then we want to do something more risky, okay? But I don't want to do that first, because we want to see if your body can heal itself naturally as soon as we remove the toxins and remove the nerve interference, which of course is coming from the subluxations that we usually don't even feel, okay? Now, what controls everything and what controls all function and healing in our body? It's our nervous system. So any good doctor is always going to check the nervous system first. And unfortunately, because of the way our system is set up, they never check the nervous system. They only check to make sure they can check your insurance to see what they get paid for instead of actually fixing the problem, okay? So they're just going to treat the symptom. And I'm okay with treating the symptom after we've done everything else and it hasn't worked, okay? So I'm not against them. I just want you to be so healthy you don't need them, okay? And remember, the worst thing about subluxation is you can have them for years and not know it because we can adapt with poor posture or we don't compress 90% of the nerve. And the next thing that was really cool about this is that when we take people through our 6 essentials, 95% of our patients with almost all the problems we suffer from today and then all the normal problems we have, you go through our 6 essentials, we pretty much eliminate all of them, okay? So we start our day with 15 minutes of prayer, meditation, Bible study. We get adjusted every week until our x-ray is corrected. If it's not correctable, we stay at weekly for the rest of our life. Once it's corrected, we go once a month, okay? We eat close to the vine. 75% of our food is God's food. We eat close to the vine for the rest of our life, okay? And you eat 25%, you do what you want, okay? And then exercise. We know we're going to do 3 days a week of aerobic and 3 days a week of anaerobic. So that means we're going to be doing some weightlifting, we're going to be doing some cardiovascular training, and at least one of those cardiovascular days, we do a high intensity interval training. Watch our exercise class on that. It's called Advanced Exercise, and we'll give you more information about that. And then we want to make sure we're getting plenty of rest. We make sure that we're sleeping with our rolls and our wedges under our spine, and we're making sure we're not using a pillow on our back, we're not sleeping on our stomach, and we're waking up naturally without the alarm clock. And the last stage is a detox. And we have 3 detoxes. We have a 10-day detox. If you've never done a detox before, start with the 10-day. If you've done a detox in the past, go ahead and do the 21-day. 21 days is the hardest detox to do, but it also will change your body's habits so you actually start liking the way healthy food tastes. So, and especially with all these chemicals that we're putting in our bodies through the things we've done in the past, this will be a great time for you ladies to do a detox, okay? And we should be doing them regularly. But the first detox is the worst, so just start with the 10-day on that, okay? And remember, all sickness and disease can only come from 2 things, deficiencies and toxicities. Our job is to remove those deficiencies, and we're going to help you get rid of your toxins, okay? Now, I want to thank everybody for listening today. Too many people don't know what you guys learned today. Please forward this video to them. Anybody that you know that's suffering from any of these conditions that we talked about today, they can get their exam and x-ray and first treatment all for $47. Normally it's $525. So make sure you send this blessing to other people because more people need to know what you guys learned today. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next workshop.